Hi everybody and welcome to section 2, Getting Started with Electron. In the last section we talked a lot about architecture of Electron and also how to set up our development environment, but in this section we will dive into the code. So let's dive right into our first video, creating the project boilerplate with the app API. Now, without talking about anything, let's just open our code editor and write some code. I have already created a folder which is called Doctor. In this folder, we will start working about our project, the first one, the one with HTML, CSS, and Vanilla.js. Now, the first thing that we need to do is go into PowerShell or your terminal, navigate to the folder. For me, the navigation process was like this. And we need to create or initiate an npm package manager. We do that with npm init. This will enable us to install packages into our application. So let's go ahead, click enter for everything, and this is good. Now the next thing is to install Electron. As you can see, I have specified the save flag, and this means that the package Electron will be also written into the package.json file. Now let's take a look at our project. Package.json was created automatically, and also the node modules are getting created. In just a second, we will come back here to write some different scripts, but for now, this is all we need to know. Basically, every time you will get my code, it will be without the node modules, and you will have to run npm install to install all the packages. Now, Electron is getting installed, and this is great, but we will go back to the code editor and start writing some code. Now, we will write the main process as we discussed previously, so the backend of the application. And it's really simple, we just write index.js. Now, let me zoom in my terminal so you guys can see better. And the thing that we need to do, first of all, is import Electron into the application. Now that we have Electron, we will start importing some other things from Electron. As I mentioned, we will be talking about the app API, so we will use that. But first of all, let's declare the windows that we are going to have in this application. We're going to have the today window, which is the default one. And then we're going to have the create window. And lastly, we will have the list window. Now, when the app is ready, we will show up the today window. So basically, we're writing this event listener. When the app is ready, we will do something. And the thing that we want to do is create the window. We create a new window with browser window object, and we can pass some parameters or options to our window. And the one that we want is, first of all, web preferences. Node integration is true means that the window can use functions from Electron. Maybe you want to create a window that is just normal HTML and CSS. But in this case, we want the today window to access some of the functions of Electron. We will take a look at that when we start building it. But for now, just know that you will have to add this line right here. The next thing is a title. And we are basically done with this part, but we created the window. Now we need to load something into the window. And we usually load HTML files into it. And it's really a simple thing to do, actually. The today window will load a URL, and the URL is just a file into the current dir name, so into the current directory, and it's called today.html. Now, we have to handle the part when we start closing the application. So when the window is closed, I want the app to quit, because the today window is the default one, so the main window of our application. And also, I want to set the today window to null, so the garbage collector of JavaScript will remove object from memory, and we will be better in handling memory. This is pretty much it for the moment. Now the next thing to do is create the actual today.html file. Just let's write today window, it's more than enough for the moment. Let's go back to the terminal. As you can see, everything was installed correctly, which is great. Now we need to do another thing into the package.json. We will remove this and instead we will create the start script, which calls Electron, basically executes Electron in the current directory. Now we can finally test the application. And well, we finally are seeing something, and this is the today window. So basically everything is working correctly for now, and I'm really happy of the result.